Welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. My name is Anja van Rijn and I'm the owner of Success on Your Own Term, where I help professional women reach their full potential in life and in business, but without giving up who they are and what is important to them. I'm also the host and the founder of the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. And today it's my privilege to be interviewing Sandra Pilarczyk. Sandra is a 100% introvert and no fluff German who is a trainer and business mentor for introverted business owners. She took the leap to create a business around helping introverted entrepreneurs like her to share their authentic message. She helps them get comfortable with getting visible by consistently showing up. Welcome to the Woman Makes Things Happen show, Sandra. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I'm so pleased because we've known each other for a while now. And you still weren't on my show. There you are. I'm so pleased to have you. And I must say to the viewers and the listeners that Sandra has changed my visibility journey. It's the moment I took her up on her 5-day visibility challenge. It was probably one of the first ones, if I remember well, that everything started shifting for me. And by the way, this used to be an audio series, and I turned it into video thanks to Sandra. So Sandra, tell us more about you.
Where do I start? Yeah, I did this challenge. Actually, I hear this a lot and it always makes my day. I have a lot of people who are coming to me, like now 2.5 years ago, I started this little challenge, which was an idea I had just after Christmas. And I thought, okay, so why is it so difficult for me, being a speaker, a public speaking trainer, a trainer? Why is this so freaking difficult for me to go on a video? What's going on there? Where, it took me literally all day long to produce this measly 2-minute video. I'm like, what's going on here? That shouldn't be that difficult. So I thought, well, if I'm struggling with that one, I'm sure a lot of other people are struggling with that one as well. So I had the idea just after Christmas. I put it on in the first week of January, which was the visibility challenge for introverts, actually, as it all started. And it just grew from there. And just doing my probably 17th or 18th or something round just this week. We're on day 4. And it's been fantastic to see so many entrepreneurs going out there and just putting themselves on video. And it doesn't have to be that hard, really.
It's amazing because, in fact, yes, I went through it myself. People tend to think that I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert in disguise. It was quite challenging indeed.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing how many people are in that situation, because I often refer people back to your challenge because it has been so life-altering for me. But then when I see how many people are signing up for them, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. So this is a gift that you're giving them. It's amazing. So tell us a bit more about you before, because you did mention the fact that you're a public speaker, that you are a trainer as well. Tell us a bit more about the background, and then how that then fell into what you're now doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a really straight line. And I think it's probably with a lot of people where it's not really a straight line, because actually my background is in hotel management. I studied hotel management back in Germany, where I come from. Really small town, 150,000 people in my little town. And when I graduated, my boss at the bar where I was working as a supervisor at the time, to kind of finance my studies and my apartment, he said, well, if you want to do anything in this business, Sandra, you're going to have to go and learn English. So I was like, okay, let's do this. And he arranged a 3-month placement for me to go to England and to learn English, to work in a hotel over there at the bar. And so I packed my suitcase and I went on a 16-hour bus journey from my hometown to Birmingham. And never looked back, really. I stayed there, had a career with Intercontinental Hotels, and then from one day to another, in 2002, I decided to start my own business because I thought, how hard can this be? Obviously, it was really hard. It took me like 6 months to make like £3.25 or something like that.
You're welcome.
It was a venue booking agency, so I kind of followed the straight path of my education to help corporates to find their accommodation and their conferences. And during my time there, I had to network, as you'd have to do as a business owner. And you know all about networking, obviously. And at the time, it really was before social media. I mean, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter. You had to actually put the work and the time into going to all these different network organizations, the lunches and the dinners and the blah, blah, blah. And obviously you have to, at the time, I thought it was a really good idea to enroll in BNI. And in BNI, you have to stand up for 20 seconds or whatever it was at the time and present your business. And every single Friday morning, I nearly died. I'm like, oh, I cannot do this. This is terrible. And I was going for a couple of months, and what was happening was that nobody really knew what I was doing because I was so bad in communicating my business message. I'm like, this is not happening. So I joined a voluntary, not-for-profit organization, which was the Junior Chamber, and through them, one of the big emphasis there is public speaking. And so I went through the public speaking trainings, and I was rubbish at it. I went through competitions, I was rubbish at it. And all of a sudden, I kind of won a competition, which meant that I could go to a European level competition, public speaking competition. I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? But at the time, again, my speaking was, it was very forced. It didn't feel natural to me. It was, this competition speeches, 6 minutes timed and thing. Anyway, I went to this competition, didn't win it, obviously, because my speaking was still a rubbish. And but the more I kind of got into it, the more I saw like what an impact actually people can make going out there and speaking. So I went through the training, I became a trainer, I then, traveled kind of across the world training people on leadership skills and on public speaking. I was speaking on message training while I still was having my corporate business on the side. Until one day, my largest client cancelled their contract. That was about 10 years later or something. And they said, it's not personal, Sandra, it's just business. But, when you run a business, everything.
But still, yeah.
And at the time, it was, my children were still quite small, and we put them through after school clubs, and we had au pairs, and we had nannies, and we kind of, we couldn't take a family holiday because of the business was 24/24. And at the time, I was like, this is not happening. I have to do something else. I didn't really have a choice because from one day to another I didn't make any money anymore, and so I had to choose.
And just for the listener, sorry. So meanwhile, you had moved with your husband to Belgium, so you're no longer in the UK.
Well, we moved to Belgium for 3 years, 2.5 years, but then we moved back to the UK again.
Okay.
So that was kind of like a between, because at the time I just did not like it here. I really wanted to go back to the UK. So there was a bit of like not a straightforward line, I suppose. But that happened once we moved back actually to the UK again. That they said, first they said, we wanted you to be closer here to us and the operations, but then they turned around and said, like, bye-bye, we're going for a mega agency, and we couldn't compete at the time. So I found myself in this situation of thinking, what am I going to do now? I can't possibly be a public speaking trainer because I never really saw myself as a really good speaker, and I can't possibly do anything in the personal development area because I don't have a degree in that. I'm very German. I don't have a degree.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I don't have any qualifications to go out there and teach people how to be better speakers or be clearer about their message, because not what I studied. So I was introduced to the online world, to the online business world. I think it was in 2012, and I was like, coaches, healers, spiritual people, light workers, what's this all about? I mean, these people making money just like going out there and teaching, and literally it was like an eye-opener what other possibilities could be out there for me. But of course, being like the German I am, I started off, helping people to put on their own events, because that's kind of, that was safe for me to do.
That's the right word, safe. Yeah.
It's safe. I knew what I was doing. And then I organized a really large event, and I was looking at the speaker at the time, and I was like, I should be doing this. I should be doing my own workshops. I should be doing my own live events. And I think, it was just this switch there. I said, okay, I need to go and do videos. I need to go and be clearer about my message. And it kind of started from there. So not very a straight line. And sometimes, when I talk about it, I've worked now with hundreds of entrepreneurs and getting them really clear about their message and putting themselves out there and getting comfortable and being visible. But even now, I think like, maybe I still kind of need that qualification or that certificate that it says.
Women are so good with the imposter syndrome. Oh, they will discover.
They will discover I don't have a certificate for doing that. But, in saying that, I have
it's the results that count.
It's the results that count. And, I am a business mentor as well. I went through the programs back at the time in the UK where everything was still funded. All the training was still funded when you're self-employed. Obviously, that kind of stopped. It's just a shame, but I went through all the training, and I went through the trainers training, and so and now I just help people to get really comfortable and get visible, really. And it wasn't easy, it wasn't straightforward. It was,
Yeah, so let's talk about that, Sandra. To start with, one thing that I would be interested in also, because I see it so often, is how much time would you say it has taken you from the moment you started playing with the thought of setting up a business for yourself and actually doing it? Because that's something a lot of women struggle with.
Yeah, I think when I started my first business, it was literally a snap decision.
Not the other one.
The other one, with this one I'm doing now, it was like it really was like gradually kind of flowing into and taking it day by day. I remember I was doing the challenge like 2.5 years ago, and after the challenge finished, and that was a 7-day challenge actually at the time, and after the challenge finished, people were like, oh, how can I work with you? I'm like, I don't know.
I hadn't thought of that.
Because now you see these challenges like on the internet going around and around, and you do this challenge and then they hit you with these sales offers and the upsells for it. At the time I didn't even think about it. At the time it was like, oh, I don't know, well, what do you need? So I came like from that place of, okay, let's hop on the call and see what I can do for you, kind of thing. And it, after a couple of challenges, so I started working with people one-on-one, and then I had lots of people working with me one-on-one, and then I thought, if that works on a one-on-one basis, maybe I should offer a group program. Again, fraud syndrome, maybe I can't do it. I waited another month just to collect more evidence of actually it is a framework which I'm teaching. And then I did a group program, and after a while I thought, maybe I should do a mastermind. So I did a mastermind, but always kind of waiting for the evidence to appear.
Which is very interesting, because it does show our viewers that there is not just one recipe. You don't have to have it all sorted out before you actually start. The key, in fact, is getting started. That's the real thing. Actually taking action. That's what's going to make the difference. And if you then can start observing what works for you, what works for your clients, what you like doing, etc., you can start making it evolve. So coming back to the fact that you said it wasn't easy. So what would you say have been your biggest challenges, or maybe still are your biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges for the moment probably is to be not consistent, but have better frameworks, have like a bigger vision of where you're going. And that was kind of always the case for me. I always did like day by day or week by week without really setting a bigger vision or goal, or just working towards which I knew that the business is going to be sustainable. So what ended up happening was that I had to run the challenges so many times to get new clients in, which was very exhausting, and it took a lot of time, and it took me and you know, I had to give lots of my time away for free as part of the challenge to get new clients, and like challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge. And most of the challenge I did live, so that wasn't like the best use of my time either. So it really was a case of getting new clients in on a consistent basis, which was always based on the challenge. And once I had like a kind of reputation for doing these challenges, people would come back to me. But it took a long time to actually be known for the challenge. Actually, you know, to be recognized that, oh, you know, if you have a problem with visibility, go to Sandra, kind of thing. That took a long time. And I think part of that problem was as well that I wasn't very clear on my message at the beginning either, because it just took it day by day by day by day. So
yeah, that's coming back to what you mentioned about the vision. I must say, so I have set up my business something like 10 years ago. But I started in working with the corporate world as an executive coach. But what really has made the difference for me when I arrived in London, so that will be, well, in 2 days, it will be 22 months ago, is the fact that I had a vision. And that vision has been getting clearer and clearer and clearer as the days were passing by, to the extent even that I had put together in France before arriving here a vision board, and I could not take my vision board with me in my 2 suitcases. On top of it, it's a very big one. So I ended up asking my sister, who was having it in her home, to actually take a picture of it. She sent it to me, and then I had it printed on the foam board, because for me it was vital. It was part of what I was looking at, and now I really keep hammering. Have a vision. It makes all the difference in the world. So
you know what I struggled on the most. Setting a vision. I never really had any kind of visions for my business or my career or my life, or, you know, I always thought like, don't ask me what I want to do 6 months down the line. I don't know what I want to do tomorrow. But once you have, you know, and it doesn't have to be, I mean, I can't handle vision boards or cut out pictures because I'm like, can't do this. But having it written down even,
I was going to say, it doesn't have to be in a vision board.
No.
I start always with saying to my clients, take all areas of your life and write down at least 4 pages per area in the present tense of what your life looks like. And you end up with 24 pages or whatever. And that's very, 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 very inspiring. When you read it again, it does make a difference. So talking about vision, do you have any particular vision now of where you want to go to with what you're doing, or are you still unfolding it as it comes?
I'm still in the unfolding stage, but I also realized that I did have to have a really big vision to kind of keep myself going, which is, again, I teach my clients the same things, you know, you have to start with the vision and work your strategy down from there. And I just found that for me, for the moment, that lots of things are happening and lots of things kind of falling together and falling into place. The only vision which I've written down on my desk is to take 100,000 people through my challenge.
Wow.
And that, I know, it's something like, I had to pick a number because it always comes down to that challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes down to seeing the people evolving through the challenge, and coming back to me after years to say like, oh, your challenge started it all. So for me, that vision is, okay, I'm going to have to concentrate on the challenge, and we'll see what programs I'm going to offer or what work I'm going to offer from there. But really to make my challenge like my vision, and to make sure that I'm taking a lot of people through that challenge.
The one thing that I would like to bounce back on is, and I'm picking just on one word that you said at the beginning of the interview, but that resonated so much. At some point you mentioned the fact that it wasn't me. And one thing that you're really teaching all the people that are actually taking your challenge is everything around authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
If not you, just don't do it.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. And that's also something that has changed my life, is when I stopped, I should say, copying the recipes of others. And that just doesn't work. If it's not you, you don't have to. And once you're authentic, people who resonate with you will be naturally attracted to you.
Yeah.
And that is something that you, in fact, really, I don't know if that's something you have chosen to teach people in your challenge, or if it just happens. But for me, it made all the difference in the world. All of a sudden, you authorized me to be just me.
Mm-hmm.
And embracing that, I think, is helping with visibility as well. It's less scary because you don't have to be someone else.
Yeah, I think this authenticity piece was right at the beginning, where I thought like, why is it so difficult for me to go on a video, and why does it take me like a whole day to do this video, until I made the switch of, you can just be yourself. But then something which I really believe in, and I see happening quite a lot, is that authenticity doesn't just show up natural. When people are saying that, oh, just be yourself on video, I would be the first one to say like, what does that mean? Because if it's really me, I wouldn't do a video, because I'm an introvert. I wouldn't put myself out there.
Yeah.
So I think, and then, the practice just comes in, the practice of getting clearer with your message, and the practice of getting more confident in your message, and getting more, just really ground yourself in your message, that you can just show up like this, like in an interview, and just talk about it because you practiced it and you're confident in it. And I think that's, for me, what authenticity is about. Practice is not about getting it perfect, or being all shiny glamour, blah blah blah, but it's really about having this sense of groundedness in your message, and then to put it out there.
What I find interesting in what you are implicitly saying as well, you even said it, is that authenticity doesn't necessarily come just like that. And what it does imply is that you do need to take the time to step back and reflect. Who am I? What do I want? What is it? What's important to me? If you don't start with that, you can't be grounded, and you can't be clear about your message, etc. So it's really amazing. Sandra, I'm getting conscious of time, unfortunately. So tell us where people can find you, where they can sign up for your next challenge.
Well, basically, I live on Facebook. Obviously, I'm on Facebook under Sandra Pilatek, and my website is fearlessandlive.com, and the challenge is plastered all over my website, so they can sign up for the challenge over there as well.
Excellent. Sandra, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your time. I definitely highly recommend Sandra's challenges. So go for it and pass the word. No, she only wants hundreds. How much did you say? 100,000?
100,000.
100,000. So help her reach that, and you will help yourself in the process.
Thank you.
If you too would like to actually turn your business life, your professional life, into a business, that sustains the life you desire for yourself. So if you want to be true to yourself, coming back to authenticity, as we mentioned several times, I highly recommend you book yourself a discovery consultation with me to find out how I can actually help you do so. And you can do that on my website, so agnesvanrijn.com, and that is ANYESVANRHIJN.com. Thank you so much. See you in the next interview. Bye.